Hello, my name is Vinita Pandey, and this is a series of my readings for my new book, Return of the Rishis. I have been reading from the first chapter of my book, which is titled Revelations from the Rishis. And in my previous readings, I had read to you first the Jeeva Naadi reading with Ramani Guruji, where he revealed a set of steps or information about my future, certain things that I would attain and things that would happen. The second portion was about another Jeev Nadi reading. This was with Ishwaranji, in which he also revealed some things about my connection with the rishis in the past and in the future. And he had said that I need to go to Arunachalam and that I would get divine visitation with the rishis. Now, this is the third part and the last part of this chapter. And it's very interesting how the threads come together. So here is the next reading. I had first heard about the Gyan Kand from Narendra. Gyan means spiritual wisdom, and Kandam refers to a chapter. Together, it is the sacred section of the Nadi Shastra that reveals one's spiritual path, as conveyed by Shiva or the Rishi whose Nadi it is. I was eager to receive mine, but I had to wait. I chose to first have the nadis of my sons and close friends be read, and until I had allowed enough space to fully absorb the revelations of my own initial reading. I kept pestering Suresh, the Nadi reader, to open my Gyan Kand. True to the temperament of many Nadi readers, he would just laugh and say, "Wait, wait, madam." Patience, it seemed, was part of the spiritual training. Finally, he retrieved my Gyan Kand bundle from his family's ancient Nadi library in Vetishwaran Koval, and it was time. On August 8th, 2024, 2.5 months after my first reading from the Shiva Sukshma Nadi, my Gyan Kand was opened, which is another chapter in the Nadi, because there are many chapters in the Nadi, and the Gyan Kand is one of them, which is about our spiritual path, our spiritual instructions directly from Shiva. What followed was the most magical, awe inspiring experience yet. Some of the messages were almost unbelievable, others so mystical, and they felt like echoes from a realm I had yet to grow into. And yet, all of it rang with a truth that touched something deep within me. As the Shiva Sukshma Nadi Gyan Kand began, I felt an unmistakable presence, a soft yet commanding vibration, as though Shiva himself had entered my space. I was instructed. Now, these are words of Shiva himself written by the Rishis. So, this is spiritual instruction or words from Shiva or message from Shiva that was revealed to the Rishis. Uh, this message is from Shiva, which was given to the Rishis and written by the Rishi's disciple to one day be read to me almost 200 years later. So, this is Shiva's instructions, asking me to sit in yogasana to receive the message with full awareness. Then came the divine guidance. I was to go to Arunachalam on a full moon night, and detailed instructions followed thereafter, where exactly I was supposed to sit on the hill on this full moon night, what pranayam to do, where to focus on my third eye, and it was literally like a guided meditation that was given to me in my Gyan Kand, and what I was to expect. Then Shiva, Parvati, and the rishis would come, and I would have their divine darshan. In that moment, I suddenly remembered that Ishwaranji had also told me exactly the same thing. My heart fluttered. Two different Nadi readings from different readers had revealed the same sacred instruction. I was no long It was no longer just a message, it was a call. The reading continued, unveiling events from my spiritual future, including a profound revelation that I would finally realize that Shiva is my guru. Though I have always felt that Sri Krishna is my Ishtadevata, this did not create any sort of conflict in my heart. To me, these divine beings are like beloved members of a vast soul family, each playing their role in guiding us home. Unlike my first Nadi reading, this one did not list ages in specific timelines because when you have your general chapter read, the first chapter, the future is told to you in your age wise. But the Gyan Kand was not by age, it was actually by events or how my spiritual life will unfold. Still, many of the spiritual milestones mirrored and expanded upon what had previously been revealed. I could see how the two readings interwove like threads on a divine tapestry. To my amazement, some elements of this Gyan Kand echoed things that Ramani Guruji had mentioned earlier, but with a completely different tone. Here, Shiva spoke of those future events not with judgment, but with love, purpose, and divine clarity. They were not warnings, they were signposts pointing to the unfolding of my soul's mission. While I could not yet fully grasp the meaning of it all, I received the words with a heart full of reverence. And I realized, despite his erratic behavior, Ramani Guruji had indeed tapped into the same message, though it had passed through him in a different form. So you see that I had met Ramani Guruji. He told me a few things that I would attain in the future. They were mentioned in the Gyan Kand. Then I had a reading with Ishwaranji, and he had read from the Jeeva Naadi that I need to go to Vaitishran Kovil, and I would have the divine darshan of all the Rishis, and this would happen. Now in the Gyan Kand, this is the third stepping stone. Here these three events came together, you see. And that's why, as I sat quietly later, reflecting on my journey so far, I saw it all clearly. The divine orchestration, Shiva and the Rishis, knowing my longing for scientific validation, had given me three independent confirmations, each through a different medium, yet all pointing to the same truth. These were not coincidences, they were breadcrumbs on a mystical path, carefully laid out so that I, in my skeptical yet open hearted way, would connect the dots. And when I felt, and when I did, I felt like a small child, held in the vast lap of the great Lord Shiva. I looked up at him, eyes wide with wonder, and whispered in awe, "Oh, wow! Now I understand that you scripted this play for me. Oh, dear Lord. Om Namah Shivaya." So that is the end of the first chapter. And today happens to be Guru Purnima as well. And how appropriate that I read the Gyan Kand section of my book to you. So keep listening. I hope you liked what you heard. And please do like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications about the following readings from my book. Thank you so much.